A couple of crypto scams, a lost then found dog going unrewarded, and strange accusations of being in league with the FBI. Here's what's on celebrity dockets these days. In May 2023, country music star Jimmie Allen was handed legal papers alleging that he had repeatedly sexually assaulted and abused a member of his management team for at least 18 months. The employee, cited as Jane Doe, claimed she was fired after she complained. She added that he took her virginity against her will one night after an American Idol taping in 2021, telling Variety, "He held me in place. At that point, any physical will was just out the door. I was pretty much paralyzed." Allen dismissed the allegations in a prepared statement which read, "It is deeply troubling and hurtful that someone I counted as one of my closest friends, colleagues, and confidants would make allegations that have no truth to them whatsoever." Less than a month after the first suit was filed, a second accuser, known as Jane Doe 2, sued Allen for sexual assault. Bad Bunny's riding high on the Latin music scene, but his bank account could take a hit pending the outcome of a lawsuit launched in March 2023 by his ex-girlfriend, Carliz de la Cruz Hernandez. She's seeking $40 million in damages because she wasn't credited on two Bad Bunny songs, Pati and 2016, each of which contain one line she claims to have contributed, the line, "Bad Bunny Baby." Hernandez says she recorded several takes on her cell phone in 2015, back when Bad Bunny was still going by Benito Martinez Ocasio. The artist added her track to a few SoundCloud recordings, but when Pati was set to be included on an album, Hernandez says she rejected a $2,000 buyout for the tracks. According to the lawsuit, the sample was used for promotions, concerts, TV, and social media platforms. One legal document reads, "This has caused and currently causes that De La Cruz feels worried, anguished, intimidated, overwhelmed, and anxious." Ramon G. Vela Cordova, an intellectual property lawyer working out of Puerto Rico, told Vice that Bad Bunny and his associates could have nipped this debacle in the bud, saying, "If a lawyer had sat down with this and really given it some thought, they would have said, let's resolve this before it becomes an issue." Mixed martial arts fighter Israel Adesanya is used to winning fights in the octagon, but the UFC champ will need a different set of skills to win a lawsuit filed in May 2023 by his former girlfriend. Adesanya's ex, Charlotte Powdrell, is asking for half of his earnings, claiming she supported him long before he established himself in the fight game. The civil suit's timing hardly seems coincidental, considering the $3 million purse Adesanya earned after regaining his middleweight title a month before. Although the relationship was first made public in 2019, the couple had apparently been seeing each other for years. They broke up in 2020. While Powdrell is keeping mum about the upcoming court case, Adesanya took to Instagram to express his feelings, posting, "Imagine being so entitled that you think you deserve what a man has worked his whole life for, when you came into this life with nothing and tried to leave with millions." Fellow UFC fighter Sean O'Malley expressed his support on his podcast, The Bromalley Show, claiming he didn't even know Adesanya had a girlfriend.
But to want half of his to want half of what he's gone out there and done is absolutely ridiculous.
The fatal on-set shooting of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins on the set of Rust may have forever tarnished the reputation of Alec Baldwin, its star and executive producer. Baldwin accidentally killed Hutchins with a prop gun during filming in 2021. In April 2023, Hutchins' parents and younger sister filed a wrongful death suit against the actor.
We filed a lawsuit today alleging battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligence, and loss of consortium for our three plaintiffs.
The plaintiff's attorney, Gloria Aldred, went on to say, "Mr. Baldwin may pretend that he is not responsible for pulling the trigger and ejecting a live bullet which ended Halyna's life. He can pretend that he is just an actor in a Wild West movie, but in real life he cannot escape from the fact that he had a major role in a tragedy which had real-life consequences."
The trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger.
Baldwin declared the suit misguided in court documents, adding, "The loss of a daughter and sister is undoubtedly painful in any circumstance, yet plaintiffs who had been distanced from Halyna physically, financially, and emotionally for years before her death have no viable cause of action against defendants." The suit, originally filed in February 2023, moved ahead after the court dropped 2 charges of involuntary manslaughter against the actor. NFL legend Tom Brady and comedian Larry David may not have much in common, but one thread they share is something they'd like to sever.
It's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so.
Late in 2022, Edwin Garrison, who invested in cryptocurrency exchange company FTX, named both celebs along with NBA aces Shaquille O'Neal and Steph Curry and tennis player Naomi Osaka in a class action lawsuit, claiming their celebrity contributed to his firm's financial downfall. FTX lost billions in the volatile cryptocurrency market and eventually declared bankruptcy. The suit claimed the celebs willingly took part in the marketing of FTX, including a major promotion event in Florida, and attracted investors who lost their money due to the company's faulty business model. According to the lawsuit, part of the scheme employed by the FTX entities involved utilizing some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment to raise funds and drive American consumers to invest, pouring billions of dollars into the deceptive FTX platform to keep the whole scheme afloat. Among the defendants, David was most vocal when it came to explaining his alleged culpability, stating, "I did not appear in Florida on behalf of any FTX entity, nor did I take any action in the state of Florida related to the advertising contract." U.S. authorities are investigating allegations that FTX used client funds to invest in several ventures without their knowledge or consent. For years, the Backstreet Boys have inspired a legion of female admirers, but Nick Carter has received more than just love notes from his fans. Papers filed in April 2023 named him as a defendant in a sexual assault lawsuit. The plaintiff, singer Melissa Schumann, claimed Carter sexually assaulted her in 2002. Schumann notified the police 15 years later, but the statute of limitations had already passed.
I actually did try to come forward when it happened. I had actually confided in my manager at that time about pressing charges.
A recent amendment extending those limitations prompted Schumann's lawyers to sue Carter. In response, Carter released a statement reading, "I am shocked and saddened by Ms. Schumann's accusations. Melissa never expressed to me while we were together or at any time since that anything we did was not consensual." Schumann also released a statement about her past experience and future commitment to making the recording industry a safe space for all, which read, "I faced extraordinary backlash for standing up for myself. I am not the first. However, my intention is that I am the last. It's time that powerful figures in the music industry get the message that they can no longer afford to enable and protect sexual predators." Carter was also named in a lawsuit filed by Shannon Ruth, who claimed the singer sexually assaulted her on a tour bus. Hip-hop artist and TV producer 50 Cent, whose drug-dealing past is well known, isn't crazy about people who tip off the law. In April 2023, after reading in Rolling Stone that rapper and former Fugees performer Pras Michel was an FBI informant, Fitty, aka Curtis James Jackson III, took to Instagram, posting, "I knew this fool was a rat. I'm glad I never with this guy." Michelle got wind of the social media entry, which has since been deleted. Fearing for his career and safety, he decided to sue 50 Cent, NBA star Kyrie Irving, who made similar comments online, and Rolling Stone. Jonathan Noah Schwartz, Michelle's lawyer, said, "Labeling a hip-hop artist such as Michelle, the reputation of whom is dependent upon street credibility, and not being a snitch, a government informant, most certainly tends to subject said hip-hop artist to hatred, distrust, ridicule, contempt, and/or disgrace, along with injury in their trade or profession." The incident sprang from information that came out during Michelle's trial and conviction on 10 counts of money laundering, witness tampering, and acting as an unregistered agent of a foreign government. Michelle testified that he approached authorities on his own volition, which sparked the informant allegations, telling TMZ, "I was never in the past, present, or future an FBI or a CIA informant. Never ever." Decades from now, historians will stumble upon the name Rudy Giuliani and wonder what the heck happened to that man.
All the networks! We have to forget about the law. Judges don't count.
As New York District Attorney during the 80s, he took on the mafia and Wall Street corruption. As New York City Mayor, he cut crime in half and was a figure of stability in the aftermath of 9/11. But things changed when he became Donald Trump's lawyer. Quicker than anyone can say the big lie, Giuliani was implicated in everything from campaign finance illegalities to helping orchestrate the overturning of the 2020 federal election. Giuliani's public profile turned even uglier in May 2023 when former employee Noelle Dunphy filed suit claiming he repeatedly sexually abused and harassed her in the workplace. Dunphy is seeking $10 million in damages. Dunphy, who was hired by Giuliani in 2019, included several graphic accounts of sexual assault in the court document. The complaint read, in part, Giuliani began abusing Ms. Dunphy almost immediately after she started working for him, and made clear that satisfying his sexual demands, which came virtually anytime, anywhere, was an absolute requirement of her employment and of his legal representation. Giuliani has denied the allegations, in the words of his spokesperson, Ted Goodman. Mayor Giuliani's lifetime of public service speaks for itself, and he will pursue all available remedies and counterclaims. A civil case involving singer Lady Gaga has literally gone to the dogs. It began in February 2022 when her dog walker, Ryan Fisher, was shot during the theft of her 2 French bulldogs. The singer posted a $500,000 reward for the return of her animals, no questions asked. They were found by a woman named Jennifer McBride. Police eventually arrested 5 perpetrators, including Fisher's shooter, who received a 21-year jail sentence. But Gaga refused to pay McBride the reward money when authorities discovered she was in on the heist. McBride was sentenced to 2 years probation, but still felt entitled to the reward due to the no questions asked stipulation. In her court filing, McBride, who's seeking $1.5 million in damages, claims Lady Gaga never intended to honor their unilateral offer to pay the reward money. The reward was posted with the intent to defraud and induce members of the public to rely upon it and to act upon said promise. Neither Gaga nor her legal team have commented on the allegations. If a tree falls on someone else's property, who gets sued for it? That's the gist of a civil suit filed against actor William H. Macy, claiming that in 2021, the actor hired a landscaping contractor to cut down trees on his neighbor's land. The complaint filed by Piers Brown, Macy's neighbor, reads, Macy's workers destroyed and removed or seriously damaged several healthy decades-old mature pine trees and other vegetation from the Brown property. In accessing the Brown property, Macy's workers damaged the gate that connected the 2 properties.
The law's pretty clear. If you step on someone else's property and cut down their trees, there's going to be liability.
Brown is seeking $600,000 in damages for devaluation of his property and emotional distress over the loss of the trees. But a lawyer specializing in property disputes between neighbors says the damages could multiply given that California has rigid laws regarding tree preservation. Entrepreneur Elon Musk relies on wealthy investors to fund his projects. While the strategy seems to have worked for ventures like SpaceX and Tesla, the same can't be said about his support of Dogecoin cryptocurrency.
What is Dogecoin?
It's an unstoppable financial vehicle that's going to take over the world.
In April 2023, several investors banded together to sue Musk for $258 billion over claims of racketeering. The case alleges that Musk's frequent promotion of Dogecoin on social media and on shows like Saturday Night Live, in which he parodied his support of Dogecoin as a hustle, is akin to a pyramid scheme. Investors claim that Musk's publicity spiked Dogecoin's price by more than 36,000% during a 2-year period before allowing its value to drop, which shortchanged anyone who had a stake in the currency. Musk's legal team contends that no law exists that forbids a celebrity to endorse a product or even use humor to elevate its profile. Musk even claimed the origin of Dogecoin was satirical, telling Time, "Even though it was created as a silly joke, Dogecoin is actually better suited for transactions than Bitcoin." No doubt Academy Award winner Tim Robbins, best known for his lead role in The Shawshank Redemption, can perform in front of the camera, but the jury is still out on his ability to run a theater company. In April 2023, Matteo Galliana lobbed a wrongful termination suit against Actors Gang Inc., a Los Angeles-based company Robbins co-founded in 1981, claiming it violated several labor codes, including some covered by the California Family Rights Act. Galliana was pregnant in 2022 when she was fired from her marketing and communications job at Actors Gang after discovering she wouldn't be paid for maternity leave or while undergoing surgery to alleviate pregnancy complications. Galliana's baby girl died 4 hours after birth in November 2022. Court documents filed on her behalf state that the defendants accepted her request, but also decided not to pay her. Robbins wasn't named in the lawsuit, although he's singled out as a main contributor to the alleged toxic work environment at the theater company. The court filing claims that in one particular meeting, Robbins raised his voice to staff and made baseless accusations of theft. So far, news of the lawsuit is the sole black mark on the company, which is celebrating its 40th anniversary. For all the movies that Martin Scorsese has directed, from Goodfellas and Casino to Taxi Driver and Raging Bull, you'd have to search long and hard to find a real-life scandal associated with his projects. But in May 2023, British production company Op Fortitude Inc. took legal action against Scorsese, who had pocketed a $500,000 advance but allegedly did no work on the material. The project was a World War II drama based on a crucial but little-known initiative associated with D-Day. The complaint filed in Los Angeles Superior Court read, Mr. Scorsese has done nothing whatsoever in furtherance of production of the picture and has been completely unresponsive to Op Fortitude's repeated attempts to reach him. Op Fortitude and LBI Entertainment, which represents Scorsese and his Cicalia production company, struck a deal late in 2021. The director was hired to perform groundwork in regard to casting and production for the movie Operation Fortitude, which was slated to begin filming the following year. When Op Fortitude received no word on the film's progress from Scorsese, a conversation with an LBI rep confirmed that if the venture was canceled, Scorsese's advance would be returned. But when Op Fortitude killed the deal, Scorsese claimed the company had no right to do so and refused to return the advance. Country fans are a strange lot when it comes to priorities. Take Morgan Wallen, for instance, who was suspended by his label in 2021 for uttering a racial slur on video, only to see his record sales spike in response. But when Wallen canceled an April 2023 show in Mississippi at the last minute after losing his voice, all hell broke loose. The cancellation prompted patron Brandy Burcham to sue the singer when she didn't receive her promised point-of-purchase refund. She dropped the complaint until a lawyer representing other disgruntled ticket holders filed a class action lawsuit. Law firm Langston & Lott took to social media with a since-deleted post reading, "Tens of thousands of people collectively spent millions to attend this event, and those affected are entitled to know the truth and to be made whole." Wallen claimed that he suffered from vocal fold trauma after straining his pipes at concerts in Florida and subsequently had to cancel 6 weeks of shows to rest his voice. But on an Instagram story, Wallen revisited the ill-fated show in Mississippi, saying, "I really thought I'd be able to take the stage, and it kills me to deliver this so close to showtime, but my voice is shot and I am unable to sing. All tickets will be refunded at point of purchase. I am so sorry. I promise you guys I tried everything I could." The 2023 split between actors Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis was turned up to 11 by the photogenic presence of One Direction's Harry Styles and a child custody battle. But what flew under the radar was a civil case filed against the couple. Enter their nanny, Erica Gennaro, who sued the twosome for wrongful termination in February 2023 after she asked for 3 days of stress leave.
She says Sudeikis wanted her to take part in family therapy sessions, along with Olivia, who was on Zoom back in the U.S.
Wilde had already moved out of the home by that time, which meant more responsibility for Gennaro in caring for their 2 children. This made the nanny increasingly anxious and depressed. According to court documents filed on Gennaro's behalf, Wilde's sudden absence from the home had an adverse consequence on its emotional state, including Sudeikis leaning on the presence of Gennaro for support. Sudeikis and Wilde have retaliated with papers of their own, claiming that Gennaro shouldn't have filed a lawsuit in a California court, but should have sought an arbitrator in New York. In a joint statement, the couple said, "Our focus has been and will continue to be to steadfastly protect our family in the face of harassment of any kind. We are confident that the evidence brought forward will affirm our position to summarily dismiss this case and bring our family peace." If you or anyone you know has been a victim of sexual assault, help is available. Visit the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network website or contact RAIN's National Helpline at 1-800-656-HOPE 4673.